Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys doing great. Today in this tutorial we're going to look up at the selection and anchor display under preferences in our edit menu. So if you just go to the edit menu, you can find the preferences. So here we have this selection and anchor display, or you can hold Ctrl K to open the preferences of Adobe Illustrator. Then you can click on the selection and anchor display. So here the very first thing that we have for the selection, we have the tolerance. So everything is for the anchor and everything is for the selection for the anchor point here with your object. So here I'm going to draw a rectangle shape, and here you have your selection tool in this toolbar and direct selection tool. So I'm going to grab my direct selection tool. So each point here is an anchor point. So here, as you can see, we have one anchor point here, we have one over here, and also we have one anchor on this point, and also we have one anchor point on this point. So everything is for the selection and anchor point of your shape or object inside Adobe Illustrator. So the very first thing here, we have this tolerance. If you just go to the selection and anchor display, so we have tolerance. What is tolerance? Tolerance is for the selection. You can set from this 2 pixel up to 8 pixel. You cannot go further than that 8 pixel here. So if you just make this something like 8 pixel for the selection tolerance, so I'm going to click OK. So now what happened here is that if I'm going to grab my direct selection tool, so I'm going to drag my selection over this anchor point for this object. So this is called the selection tolerance. So now we set that 8 pixel, so it's going to be 8 pixel for the tolerance that we are going to drag our selection over on this anchor point. So automatically this is going to select. So here on this tolerance, I think the best value you can set here is 2 pixel. It's going to be the best because the 2 pixel is going to be great when you're going to set this value. And now if I drag my selection over this anchor point on my shape, so it's going to be a 2 pixel, the tolerance that is help me to select this anchor point on my shape here. And the next option here with the selection and anchor display, we have this select and unlock objects on canvas. So here I'm going to make a copy. Let me change the color, something like red, and here I'm going to change that to blue. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go inside the layers here, and then I'm going to lock all the shapes. So now I can move this shape. I cannot select any shape over here. Now if I check this select and unlock objects on canvas, so what happened now is that here if I select this one, this object which is already locked, so this icon of lock appear on the left of this object, and also for the others here is going to appear. Without just go to the layers panel here, I can just click on this icon, so automatically it's going to unlock, so I can move it anywhere on my artboard. So the same thing I can do for the other vector shapes here. I can just click on this little icon, so automatically this is going to unlock, so I can move it anywhere. So I can do for this blue shape as well. I can click on this little icon here, so I can unlock this shape. So I'm going to click at that, so it's going to unlock. I can move it anywhere. So this is one of the best option. You can use this with your Adobe Illustrator if you need this option for a different object. So you can check this, and you can use it for the purpose of unlock any object inside your Adobe Illustrator. And the next option here, we have this show anchor points in selection tool and shape tools. Now if I'm going to make something like I'm going to actually here I'm going to type something so I can show you how this is going to work. Let me change the font. I'm going to increase the font size as well. So now what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to right click and create outline. So here we have this selection tool and direct selection tool. And if I click on this direct selection tool, as you can see, I can see all the path here, all the anchor here with my text, which we already convert that into the outline. But if I grab my selection tool, so I can see any anchor point is going to disappear from this text. So I don't want to actually disappear all the anchors when I'm going to grab my selection tool. So I need to go to the selection and anchor display. So here I'm going to check this show anchor points in selection tool and shape tool. So I'm going to check that, click on OK. So now here, as you can see, if I just grab my direct selection tool or selection tool, so all the anchor point here for this lorem ipsum is going to show me. So this is how this option work if you want to use it with direct selection tool and selection tool. You want to see all the anchor point with your shape. So make sure you check this show anchor points in selection tool and shape tools. And the next option here, we have this constraint path dragging on segment reshape. Let me show you this option. So I'm going to draw a rectangle shape here, and under our pen tool we have this anchor point tool. So I'm going to use this here, and if I want to just move or drag this, so as you can see, I can drag this path anywhere. I can just move it to the left, to the right, to the left here, or I can use the handle as well. So I can do this here for this part of the shape. I can move it up, I can move it or drag it down. So I can use it, the handles. I can use this tool for this part of the shape as well. But if I'm going to check this constraint path dragging on segment reshape, so what happened now for my shape is that here, if I want to move this, so as you can see, I can move it up, I can move it down or drag it. So as you can see here, these two handles is overlapping each other. I can move it up, I can move it down, but it's completely different. It's overlapping when you just drag it down here, but if you just move it up, so it's going to be something like this. And if I want to just use this tool, which is this anchor point tool, and if I want to just drag this up and down, so I can't. So as you can see, the handle's actually going to be on the right, it's going to be on the left, but I can just drag it up or down. So this is how you're going to turn on this option for this tool. If you want to uncheck it and then you want to change anything with this anchor point tool, so simple, you can just move or drag up or drag down your shape. So this is how you're going to use this option under selection and anchor display. And the next option here we have this move, lock it and hide in artwork with artboard. So I'm going to uncheck this and click OK. So now what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to draw a shape. Control C, Control V, so we can make a copy. I'm going to change the color, so I'm going to select this black one and I'm going to hide it. And for this one, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the lock. So here on this toolbar we have this artboard, so if I'm going to click at that, so now if I want to move my hidden and lock it shape with my artboard, so here I'm going to move it. So now let me unhide. So as you can see, these two, which is locked and also which is hide, it doesn't move with my artboard. Let me Control Z. I'm going to undo. Control Z is the shortcut that you can use with your keyboard with your Adobe Illustrator for undo. So here on the selection and anchor display, I'm going to check this move, lock it and hide in artwork with artboard. So now I'm going to click OK. So now if I click on this this toolbar with artboard, so now I can move it anywhere. Let me unhide this one. As you can see, this lock it shape and also this hidden one now is moved with my artboards. So this is how you're going to use this option inside your Adobe Illustrator. And the next option here we have this anchor points, handles and bounding box display. So let me show you what is anchor point, what is handles and what is bounding box display. Before I'm going to change any option here, let me show you here in my artboard. So this is an anchor point, and if I'm going to select that and if I want to convert to the handles, so this is handles, and also this is bounding box. As you can see, this is the bounding box. So now you know this is the anchor point, handles and also bounding box. Now if I want to change the size of the anchor points, the handles and bounding box display, so I can increase that to max. So here I'm going to click OK. So now as you can see, the bounding box size is bigger and also the handles is now bigger, and also the anchor point here is going to show me that is over here. So I can click on the different anchor points here. So the different anchor points and the handles and the bounding box size is now bigger. So you can change that from here, and also you can change the handle style. If I select this one and click OK, so now as you can see, the handles is now different. And the next option here we have this highlight anchors on mouse over. If I'm going to uncheck this option and click OK, so now if I put my cursor with direct selection tool, so as you can see, no highlight for the anchor point. So I can just move it over here, but it's not going to highlight the anchor point on my shape. But if I'm going to check this option, highlight anchors on mouse over, click on OK. So now if I put my cursor, as you can see, now it's going to highlight. I can just put my cursor over this anchor point, over this one or this one. And the next option here we have show handles when multiple anchors are selected. So here if you uncheck this and click OK, So now let me select this one and convert that into handles. Now I'm going to hold the shift key on my keyboard and select this anchor. So as you can see, while selecting two anchor point with my shape, no handles is going to show me. But if I just go to the selection and anchor display, and here I'm going to check this show handles when multiple anchors are selected, and now click OK. So now as you can see, the handles is now show me because I just select this anchor point and also this one. Now I can see handles for all the anchor points that I selected for this shape. And the next option here, we have this height corner widget for angles greater than 105. So what is a widget? When you grab your direct selection tool, let me delete this shape, so I'm going to draw another rectangle shape here. So this is the widget, so I can use to round my shape. And if I'm going to make a shape something like this, here let's change the angle for this shape. So I'm going to right click, and here on this rotate we have this angle, so we're going to make that 195. So I'm going to click OK. So now still, as you can see, there's widget is going to show me, but I'm going to change this angles here. So now if I just select all the angles, so here as you can see, this widget is disappear from this angle that I can see. I can use all this widget from the other angles for my shape, but I can see it here. So if you want to hide this widget, so here hide a corner widget for angles greater than 105, or you can select this 120 or 135 or 150, or you can go with 165 as well. So the next option here, we have this enable rubber band for the pen tool and curvature tool. So what is rubber band? Let me show you what's rubber band. So if I'm going to grab my pen tool from this toolbar, so now if I want to draw anything here, so if I'm going to make, so as you can see, this is the rubber band. And if I don't want to see this rubber band with my pen tool, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the selection and anchor display. So here I'm going to uncheck this pen tool and click OK. So now if I'm going to use the pen tool here, so what happened now is that if I'm going to make this shape, so as you can see, this rubber band is not working and it's disappear from my pen tool. Make sure you check this option for the pen tool. And now the second option, which is this rubber band for the curvature tool. Here let me show you with this so here is the curvature tool, and if I'm going to make something here, so as you can see, this is the rubber band that is used with this curvature tool. So now if I uncheck this curvature tool and click on OK, so now if I grab my this curvature tool, so what happened now is that there is no rubber band for my curvature tool. But if I'm going to check this curvature tool and click OK, so now this rubber band is available. So the next option here, we have this snap to point. So this option and also tolerance is the value is going to be something, if I'm going to add that something like 20. So as you can see here, if I just go to the selection and anchor display, it's 8 pixel. Like tolerance for the selection, we cannot go further than that 8 pixel here. So snap to point is something like here, let me show you. If I draw this shape, Alton, drag so we can make a copy. So now if I put this over here, so as you can see that it's going to snap the point. From this point is going to snap this. So I can set the pixel of two different shape that when we want to snap to point, so I can set that to 8 pixel. I think the best value that here I can set is 2 pixel, because 2 pixel is going to be the best when I'm going to grab this shape here and I want to put this over here. So as you can see, 2 pixel is going to be great for snapping over to this shape. So you can't go further than that 8 pixel here, so you can go only for 2 pixel, that if you want to just put your shape over to other shape and you want to snap it. So here for the point, for snapping point, so here is going to be something like this 8 pixel. And the next option under selection and anchor display, we have this object selection by path only. If you check this option and click OK, so now if I want to move this object or this shape, so I can move it, but I can move it from the path. So this is the path, I can move it. I can move it from this side of the path, I can move it from this side of the path, or I can move it from this side of the path as well, but I can move it from the middle of this object. Now if I just go to the selection and anchor display, so here I'm going to uncheck this object selection by path only, click on OK. So now I can move it from the middle of the object. So without just moving it from the path, I can move it from anywhere here with my object. And the next option here, we have this control click to select objects behind. And if you uncheck this, click on OK. So now if I want to select this object behind by holding Control on my keyboard, so I am going to click. So as you can see, nothing is going to select. But if you check this option, Control click to select objects behind and click OK. So now if I hold the Control on my keyboard, so as you can see here, I can select the behind object. And the next option here, we have this zoom to selection. Now if I'm going to make a shape over here, let me decrease the size for the anchor points, handles and bounding box. So here I'm going to uncheck this option, zoom to selection, click on OK. So now this shape is selected here in my artboard. So if I want to zoom in, so I'm going to use the shortcut, which is Control plus, and Control minus is unzoom. So if I want to zoom, so let me just go there, and now if I zoom, so as you can see, nothing is going to zoom for the selected object. But if I just go to the selection and anchor display and check this zoom to selection, so now what happened is that if I hold Control plus, so automatically it's going to zoom the selected object in my artboard. So if I scroll anywhere on my artboard, somewhere like this, so now I'm going to hold Control plus, so automatically it's going to find the selected object and it's going to zoom on it. So this is how it's going to work. We just looked up all the options which is available under preferences for selection and anchor display. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and learn how to use and how to set all the selection and anchor display settings inside preferences. And if you have any question, please let me know in the comment box of this video. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to stay tuned about our future videos and uploads, hit the bell icon as well. So see you guys in the next video.